Hello. This is AI. I am with you for a couple of minutes. I will tell you some technical things about inverters. So let's start. To know inverters more better, it is necessary to know them theoretically. Now I will explain the different types of inverters briefly. After this, I will prove this theory practically with the help of an experimental demonstration. Sine, square, and modified sine wave inverters. Sine wave, square wave, and modified wave are the type of inverters used to power electronic devices. These waveforms are classified under the consideration of the inverter's input and output waveforms. The electrical appliances used in the household are major of AC current type, and to operate them using the inverter, the output of the inverter should provide the AC wave as output. As we all know that the inverters take the DC current as input and convert the output into AC current. The output waveforms from the inverter will be either a square wave or sine wave, and if the consumer wants to control the output of the inverter, the modified waveforms are used. The difference between the waveforms majorly depends on the types of appliances used in the household or commercial, where the inverters are used for the backup power supply. Hence, the inverters are majorly classified according to the sine waveforms used, and they are mainly divided into three types: sine wave, square wave, modified sine wave. The above types of inverters are used for particular purposes and work according to the required purpose. They differ from each other in the different aspects such as efficiency, cost, and maintenance. The pure sine wave is at the top of the table, and the square wave is the simplest and used for the small rated applications. Now let us look after the different waveforms in brief. Sine wave inverters. The wave is generated by the sine wave generator, which we will get from the local utility company. The sine wave will be the purest form of the output, and it will be similar to the wave which we will get as the input from the distribution transformer. Because of this advantage, the appliances in the household are in the safe hands with the sine wave type inverters because of fewer noises and smoothest output. The sine wave is used to denote the purest part of the AC supply, so this is the most selling type coming to the generators or the inverters. The major advantage is that these sine wave appliances are more in the market, and this point will lead to the most selling for the sine wave generators and the inverters, and the guarantee is also more because of the similar output. The major disadvantage is that the design of the sine wave generation circuit is the most complex one and takes heavy expense for the completion of the product. The conversion of the constant DC waveform to the AC sine wave is the toughest part. This takes more electronic components, thus the circuit will become the most complex. The amplitude values will be the same in the positive and negative phases. In the pure sine wave, this advantage made the sine wave used in more applications. Some appliances made the pure sine wave inverters the mandatory purchase to use the product. The audio, video, and satellite systems will run with the best efficiency when they use the sine wave inverters. The optimal performance of the high voltage appliances, the sine wave generators and the inverters, are mostly used. Square wave inverter. The square waves are used as the logical functions. Square waves are used in digital devices and are very important for computer-related applications. The square wave is created using the various sine waves, and by overlapping them the output will be given as the square wave. As the sine wave has the two states such as the positive and negative phase, the square wave also has the two states such as the ideal in the digital function. The Fourier transformation is required to generate the square wave, but the perfect generation of the square wave is an impossible thing, as it needs an infinite number of the sine waves for perfect states. Hence, the square wave will have some distortions and noises which are negligible. These square wave appliances are affordable ones compared to sine wave appliances. The major difference between the square and the sine wave is the sine wave is produced naturally, but the square waveform is the output from the overlapping of various sine waves. The manual reproduction is possible for the sine wave, but it is impossible for the square wave. The perfect square wave is a complex task compared to the sine wave with the perfect values. This square wave is used to run simple appliances such as universal motors. Due to the limited applications and the less cost, the square wave appliances stood at the bottom of the sales in the electrical market. Modified sine wave inverter. The modified wave is derived from the sine wave and the square wave. The modified wave looks similar to the square wave, but with the extra step at the top of the wave. The modified wave is generated from the sine wave by chopping the top of the sine wave and going through the different processes. The modified waveforms will be generated. These modified waveforms will make the appliances affordable, and they will be used for less efficient power applications. Compared to the sine wave, the modified wave amplitudes are very less, which makes them useful for low power operations. Because of less amplitude, the cost of the modified wave appliances is very less and affordable. These modified waveforms will be the optimal solution for heavy projects with less efficient power. The speed control of different types of electrical appliances is possible with modified waves because of the chopped waves. The noise and distortion are comparatively high in the modified wave. Because of their affordable cost, the modified wave appliances had the best sales in the market. The only difference between the three waveforms is that the sine wave is the only wave that is generated naturally, and the remaining both are processed output waveforms from the sine wave. Experiment. Now to see trueness in previously explained theory. A simple experiment can help us. So what we do here is we have connected square, modified, and sine wave inverters. One by one with the step-down transformer and a 12-volt speaker. Then the sound of the speaker will explain the rest of the thing. We will also check the sound of the grid. Grid is the purest form of electricity. So I hope this is enough information. I hope you enjoyed and learned something new. I will say you goodbye and enjoy the rest of the video. And do not forget to like and subscribe. Thank you. See you soon.